Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Crochet for Baby. Thank you for watching and thank you for subscribing. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make this hat for adults using the same stitch that I used to make my cow scarf. When I showed you this scarf that I did for myself, many of you asked me to make the matching hat, so here it is. It's super easy to make. Now this stitch here is reversible. You can either choose this side. This side is actually the right side, but I personally prefer the wrong side. I like the way that the stitch looks on the wrong side, so it would be up to you to choose which side. Now I accessorized mine with this faux fur pompon, so I think it looks really nice and matches very well with my hat. Now you can also make this hat for any size, any age. Down here in the information box, I'm going to leave you the circumference and the height based on age, so be sure to check that out. Okay, so I hope you like it, and without further ado, let's get started, and thank you for watching. Okay, to begin, I'll be using this 5mm crochet hook, and today I'm using this medium number 4 yarn. I'm using this brand Yarn Bee Soft Secret in this color Honey. This is a medium number 4 yarn. Okay, so now here to continue, I have 9 chains. Now, if you want to make this a bit longer, you can. I'm only going to do 9 chains. You can also make it smaller. If you want, you can do just 7 chains so that it looks kind of sort of like this, smaller. Now, the brim that I'm going to do is where we work rows until we have the size that we want. Now, with this type of brim where we continue to make rows in single crochet, you're going to have to make sure that it's not too loose. I initially had made more rows, but it was way too loose on me, so I took off a couple more rows, so make sure that it fits on you. The important thing with this brim is that you need to keep it in multiples of 8, because the stitch that we're going to do is in multiples of 8. If you're off by maybe 1 or 2 stitches, it's okay. We can always adjust it at the end. Okay, so here to continue, I have 9 chains. On the second chain from the hook, we're going to insert our hook, grab a loop like this, and make a single crochet. Now if you notice, I'm making the single crochets a bit different. A normal single crochet, you insert the hook, wrap the yarn, bring it through the front, and then wrap the yarn again. I'm doing it where I go in, grab the loop, and grab the loop like this. This makes the single crochet a bit smaller, and it makes it nice and pretty and tight, which is what I like my brims to be. So here, continue into the next chain, grab a loop, and make a single crochet. Now if you want to do your single crochets the normal way, it's okay, you can do it that way. Just make sure to stretch it, because there's this type of brim is very stretchy, so you may need less number of rows than I do, so you can make it any other way, any way that you want. Okay, so here, just continue to the end making single crochets. Now I should have 8 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. Now we're going to turn, and now we're going to chain 1. Okay, there's a reason for doing it this way. This is so that when we go back and then come back, this chain here, it's easier to find than when you chain 1 and then turn. You'll see what I mean when we get there. So now here we're going to work single crochet, so make sure you go through the back loop only, like this. In the same way, you pull to make your single crochet. This is how I make my hat brims when I do this type of brim. I think the stitch is much tidier and pretty, I think. So like this. We're going to continue all the way to the end, just making single crochets and making sure we only go through the back loop of a stitch, like this. Okay, now I should have 8 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. Now turn and make your first chain, and then work your first single crochet on top of the first single crochet and continue to the end, making sure you only go through the back loop of the single crochet. Now I'm here at the end. This is where we did the chain. We turned and then did the chain. You see how that chain is right there? It's so much easier to find. So insert your hook there and make your last single crochet. Now turn and chain one and continue with the same thing. Now we're going to continue like this for about 72 rows. This is how many rows I did for the hat. So continue like this, and I'll meet you once we have our 72 rows to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end. I did a total of 72 rows, and it's measuring 20 inches, which is about 51 centimeters. Now make sure that you try it on and make sure that it fits accordingly. This type of brim, it's very stretchy, so you may need less rows than what I have here, okay? So now here we're going to join both ends. So to do that, I'm going to insert my hook here. This is the first row that we did, or these are the chains. Grab this loop, bring it through the front, chain one, and into the same stitch here, insert your hook again and make a slip stitch. Okay, now insert your hook into the next stitch and through the next stitch in the back, grab a loop and make a slip stitch. Insert your hook here and through the back, grab a loop and make a slip stitch. This is how we're going to close this part here, so continue like this. I will meet you here at the end to show you what we need to do next. I finished joining both sides, and this is what it looks like. So now what we're going to do is we're going to turn this like this. We're going to switch hooks to, we're going to stop using this 5mm and we're going to start using this 5.5mm crochet hook. So with this new hook, you're going to chain one and we're going to make single crochets all around. So beginning here on this side, we're going to make a single crochet. Then a single crochet into this side here, and right in the middle of the two rows. That's where I'm going to insert my hook right there and make a single crochet and along the side. This is how I'm going to make my single crochets. Now we're going to make a total of 72 single crochets, so continue like this all around. I'll meet you here at the end to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this first row of single crochets. Up to here I have 72 single crochets. Now to finish, we're going to go to the top of the first single crochet and join with a slip stitch. And this is how we finish the first row. Now for the second row, chain two, and into this same stitch here, make a double crochet. A double crochet into the next stitch, a double crochet into the next single crochet. Okay, the two chains never count as a stitch, so I have 1, 2, 3 double crochets. Now we're going to skip 2 single crochets, and into the third single crochet we're going to make a fan of 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. Okay, now skip 1, 2, and into the third single crochet make a double crochet into the next single crochet, and double crochet into the next single crochet. So here's what we're going to repeat. So a fan and then 3 double crochets separated by 2 single crochets. So here we're going to skip 2 single crochets, and into the third we're going to make our fan of 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. Now skip 2 single crochets, and into the third make a double crochet into the next, and a double crochet into the next. Continue like this all the way to the end. I will meet you here to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this second row. I finished with a fan, so now to finish we're going to go here between the double crochet and the 2 chains and join with a slip stitch. And this is how we finish the second row. Now for the third row, chain 1, and we're going to work front post double crochets on each one of these double crochets. So beginning into the first one, make a front post double crochet into the second, front post double crochet, and into the third, front post double crochet. This is how we're going to work each one of these double crochets. And inside the fans, we're going to make a fan. So double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochets. Now we have the 3 double crochets, so we're going to work front post double crochets. There's 1, front post double crochet 2, and front post double crochet 3. Now we have the fan again. So inside the chain 1 space, you're going to make your fan. 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. This is all we're going to do for this row, which is the same row that we're always going to repeat. So continue like this. I'll meet you here at the end to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this third row. Now to finish, we're going to go here to the side where we have the chain and join with a slip stitch. And this is how we finish this row and all the rows to follow. Now to begin every row, you're going to chain 1, and these 3 double crochets, you're going to work front post double crochets. We're going to repeat the exact same thing we did on the previous row, which is just making 3 front post double crochets. And then inside each one of the fans, you work a fan of 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. And then we have the double crochet, so you make 3 front post double crochets, 1, 2, and 3, and then continue and make your fan here. This is all we're going to do, and we're going to do this until we have 9 rows. Right here we have 3 fan rows, 1, 2, 3. So continue like this, and I'll meet you at the end of the 9th row to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of the 7th row. I decided to only make 7 rows instead of the 9 that I had mentioned because it's growing pretty fast, so I'm going to start reducing. So with the 4.5mm crochet hook, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to repeat the same thing. The same row that we've been repeating, we're going to repeat for 2 more rows. So 3 front post double crochets, and then a fan on top of this fan. Continue like this for 2 rows with this hook, and I'll meet you at the end of the 2nd row to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I decided to make 5 rows instead of the 2 that I had mentioned using this 4.5mm crochet hook. When I did the 2 rows, it was still too short, so I added 3 more rows. So we did 5 rows using this 4.5mm crochet hook, and then we did 7 rows using the 5.5mm crochet hook. So now we're going to make 1 more row. So for this next row, we're going to reduce even further. So chain 2, and these 3 double crochets that we have here, we're going to yarn over, insert your hook as if you're going to work this into a front post double crochet, grab a loop, take 2 loops off, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, insert your hook into the next one, grab a loop, take 2 loops off, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, insert your hook into the last, take 2 loops off, 4 loops on the hook, close. So we're going to reduce this to 1 stitch here. So now inside the chain 1 space of this fan, you're going to work 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. Then you're going to go to the next 3 double crochets, yarn over, insert your hook through the first one, grab a loop, take 2 loops off, yarn over, insert your hook through the next, take 2 loops off, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, insert your hook into the last, take 2 loops off, 4 loops on the hook, close. And then again 2 double crochets into this next fan. This is how we're going to work this row, so continue like this. I'll meet you here at the end to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this row. Now to finish, we're going to go here to the side where we have the 2 chains and make a slip stitch. And this is how we finish this row. Now chain 1, and into this first stitch right here, make a single crochet. Into the next 2, work a stitch reduction. So insert your hook, grab a loop, insert your hook into the next, grab a loop, 3 loops on the hook, close. Into the next stitch, make a single crochet. Now into the next 2, insert your hook, grab a loop, into the next, grab a loop, 3 loops, close. Into the next stitch, make a single crochet, and into the next 2, work a stitch reduction. So insert your hook, grab a loop, insert your hook into the next, grab a loop, 3 loops in the hook, close. This is all we're going to do all around, so continue like this. I'll meet you here at the end to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I finished making this row here. I just joined to the beginning with a slip stitch, and then I just pull this loop here to tie this part here, and I cut my yarn and I left the about 12 inches. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to weave this all around. So I'm going to go through the first one, skip the next one, go through the next, skip the next one, skip one, go through the next one, skip one, go through the next one, and so on. And here's the last one. I'm just going to go through this last one too here. Okay, so now we're going to pull this yarn. Now here you're going to have to choose which side is going to be your right side, or you can leave it as a double-sided hat, because I personally like the way that it looks from the wrong side. So for me, the right side is going to be the wrong side. So here I'm going to just pull this yarn here and close the top. Now with this loop that we left, I'm going to tie a knot. Now if you want to make this reversible, I recommend that you hide your ends. So I'm just going to tie them. To me it doesn't matter because I plan to wear it from this side. Okay, so this is what it looks like from the top, right there, and the hat is done. There it is. Now I tried it on and it fits perfect. I think I'm going to add a fur pom-pom. I have a couple of them that are yellow or in this color. So now I have a matching hat for my cowl. Here's my cowl scarf that I already showed you. I actually worn it a couple of times already and I've gotten many compliments. It's a little bulky, but regardless, I love it. So now I have a matching hat for it. Not quite exactly the same color, since I couldn't find one that matched that was thinner. So there it is. So here's my finished hat. I'm going to add a pom-pom, I think. So I'll show you what it looks like at the end. I'll leave you a picture of what it looks like. Okay, so here's my finished hat. I hope you like it. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.